So we're very fortunate that we have a number of corporations that have joined our effort here at John Jay through the Veterans Roundtable. Some of them, J.P. Morgan is here, and others have been here or will be here, so that the external community is supportive as well of what we're doing here at John Jay to make your time here valuable and to make sure that you leave here as an alumnus or alumna and you look back at your John Jay experience and say, I'm so glad that was my choice. So in part as a result of those efforts, also in part as a result of the type of college we are, we have the largest number of veterans for any college within CUNY, well over 500. We're very proud of that. Someone told me it's one of the largest in the Northeast. We don't have to get too much into the bragging rights in terms of numbers, but what I'm particularly proud of is the fact that we're ranked number 3 in the country as best for vets by Military Times. So that says something about the work that we've done here over the past few years. This allows me an opportunity to thank Welby Alcantara, who's here, who's our Director of Veterans Affairs, who's somewhere. Oh, he's either eating or doing something. Okay, so when he comes in, we'll give him a round of applause. Hey, Welby! Hey. And his vice president he reports to is here, Vice President Lynette Cook-Francis, Vice President Student Affairs, who has made this priority under her leadership. And where's Mindy? I have to thank Mindy. Right here in front of me, our Executive Director for External Affairs, who does a lot of work on behalf of veterans, Mindy Bockstein. We're also joined by the founder of Wets for Vets, Professor Jane Katz, who invites you to the pool afterwards if you want to join. Yes, right? She knows how to, she does things swimmingly, as she would like to tell you. So we have, I'm sure there's some others in the room who I've not referenced, and I apologize for that. So the event today really fits into a larger story of what we're trying to do here at John Jay and CUNY-wide. So our Chancellor, J.B. Milliken, and my colleagues on the Council of Presidents have formed a committee, the Council of Presidents Committee on Veterans Affairs, headed by Mitch Wallerstein from Baruch, and Vice President Sanchez, Vice Chancellor Sanchez from the central office. So there's a university-wide commitment to supporting veterans who come to CUNY. So even though we're here at John Jay, and we think in many ways we're in the lead, certainly numbers-wise, what I want to reflect to you is that this is a university commitment. So today's event is intended to help students who are in a number of different colleges or thinking about coming to a number of different CUNY colleges understand the advantages. Where's Lisa Beata? Is she here? Representing Vice Chancellor Sanchez, Lisa Beata, if I get your name right, who is here. So she is here. She's a point person for anybody who wants to understand something more about the university-wide commitment and commitment from colleges other than John Jay. But please take advantage of this opportunity. Now, I know that the storm this morning kept our numbers small. Take advantage of that fact. This is a moment for personal one-on-one help. And we know that we have speakers and we have resources available to you because we want to welcome you into this community, in part because you're students. We welcome all students, but in part because of your service to our country. We want to honor and validate that in ways that I think we've been very strong about over the past few years. So on behalf of the Chancellor, on behalf of the COPS Committee on Veterans Affairs, and certainly on behalf of my college colleagues here at John Jay, I want to welcome you and take advantage of everything while it's available to you here. So you're so lucky because the speaker who's about to follow me is going to bring you greetings from our mayor. Not often that you come to an event where the mayor is represented by the Commissioner of Veterans Affairs. One of the great joys of my work in this space, and I speak on behalf of my John Jay colleagues and the CUNY Chancellor, has been our relationship with Commissioner Sutton. Commissioner Loree Sutton has been a fierce advocate, that's our language here at John Jay, a fierce advocate for justice for veterans. There's no higher honor we can bestow on somebody than to say you're a fierce advocate for justice, which is what we like to call ourselves here. The Mayor's Office of Veterans Affairs had been, until a year plus ago, a sleepy, not high visibility or high energy or high commitment entity within the mayor's office. I know because I used to work in the mayor's office. The appointment of Loree Sutton, who we think, of course, that we found her first because she spoke at our Women's Empowerment Symposium, so she owes her future and all of her successes to us. Don't forget that. The appointment of Loree Sutton as the Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Veterans Affairs signaled to your community and to the larger city a commitment by this mayor to elevate all of our work and to raise the bar for all of us. It's not about the numbers of people in the office. It's not about the size of the table of organization. It's about the leveraging of that office. It will always be a small office. Leveraging the assets that all of us have to serve veterans better. That's the signal that I think the mayor sent to all of us when he appointed Admiral, right? Is that right? General. I don't know all the titles. She has some really high rank, right? That's right, General, Loree Sutton. So it really gives me a great pleasure and honor, and we consider ourselves friends at this point in our journey, to welcome my friend and partner in this work, Loree Sutton.
President Travis, thank you so much. Always a delight to be here, John Jay. And as you mentioned, my introduction to the New York City veterans community really did happen a little over a year ago, last June. And Mindy Bockstein was one of the first folks that I met. And I'll tell you, Mindy has got it going on here at John Jay. I think every one of you here know that. And Professor Katz, your leadership. And I am going to get out there in that Wets for Vets. I got my own swimsuit here. I'm scared to put it on, but that's a whole other story. So we'll work on that. And Lisa Biate, on behalf of CUNY and just the entire family here, we are all in this together. And J.P. Morgan and Chase Harris, thank you so much for your support. This has been really a fantastic opportunity to come together in a small, sort of a close-knit environment and just to be able to get some answers. Ask some questions, give some ideas, come up with things that we can do better. And I'll tell you, as you just heard from President Travis, John Jay's commitment to student veterans has set the standard that the entire CUNY system is now working to raise every one of those 24, 25 schools, Lisa, in the CUNY system. And it's so exciting because what started in one college is now being really raised across the entire system. And there is not another system, not only in the state, but in the country that has that level of commitment, senior leadership at all levels, to include Weldy's work over at the center. Well, give it up again for Weldy. Absolutely. So, nobody gets where, none of us get where we're going on our own, right? We all own where we are in life and where we're going to get, to the love of someone who saw something in ourselves, whether it was our drill sergeant, whether it was our spouse, whether it was our kids, whoever it may be, or our coworkers. And so today, I want to be able to give just a quick shout out to the newest member of Team NOVA, Nicole Branca, who today is her first day, so naturally I had to bring her to John Jay. And Nicole Branca is, I'll give you you just wait. You'll see how much you're going to applaud when you know what she does. She's come on board as Assistant Commissioner and Senior Advisor for Strategic Initiatives. She is one of the country's leading experts in supportive housing, and she and the rest of our team that we're building out at MOVA, we're going to take it by storm and end veteran homelessness in New York City this year. So welcome, Nicole Branca. So over this last year, we distilled 3 strategic top-tier initiatives. The first one is ending veteran homelessness in New York City. We've got a little less than 1,000 to go. We're on it. And as importantly, we're not just going to do it and declare victory with a little photo op. We're building out the system that will sustain the capacity to bring veterans in, quickly get them permanently housed and back on their feet, whether it's mental health resources they need, whether it's job training, employment, whatever it is. Who knows? Maybe we need to go back and get a little education. Maybe we can refer them back here to John Jay, CUNY, all kinds of resources in this city. So that's the first line of action. The second line of action, we are so thrilled to be able to link up with our First Lady, Shireen McCrae, who has identified mental health as her focus area. And she approaches it from a community perspective, a public health model that empowers individuals and families and communities to really be their best selves. So naturally, we want veterans and their families to be a part of that stuff, right? And so you're going to hear more about that as we roll out the strategy roadmap in just a few more weeks. Third line of action is we want to make sure at the city that we are reaching out and connecting with veterans and their families so that veterans and families have access to city careers, employment opportunities. You can't believe the jobs that are sitting on the table today in our city for want of applicants, whether it be in the IT world, whether it be in the trades. You know, DCAS over these next 3 to 5 years, 80% of their carpenters, electricians, and plumbers going to be retired. So you don't even have to necessarily go to a 4-year college. You can get a certificate. You can get an apprenticeship. There's all kinds of ways of serving. And so we want to be able to bring those services forward, connect them with veterans and their families, because you know what? Families serve too. So you will always hear me connect families in the same sentence with veterans. Lastly, I'll just leave this point with you because I will tell you this is my bias. This is what brought me to New York City. You might have guessed that I didn't exactly come from New York City. I came from a little town on the other side of the country, Loma Linda, California, almost 30 years in the Army, but I got here as soon as I could because I knew that this was the place, this is the place where we want to draw veterans and their families too. We want to do great things for the 230,000 veterans and their families. That's close to 500,000 who already live here in New York City. But we also know that there's over 1 million veterans who are coming out of the services over these next 3 to 5 years, and we want to recruit them to come to New York. We want to say, listen, check out this community here that exists. Check out the CUNY system, John Jay, all the other opportunities. Dream whatever it is you can dream of becoming. Think of it as a grand adventure. You come to New York for the 2, 3, 4 years that we'll surround you with community. You'll get your $3,600 a month, help me, Welby, your housing allowance, basic allowance for housing, and you can retool yourself for what each of us as veterans is always committed to doing, and that's continuing to serve. So that's a sort of a Uber, oh, that's the wrong word. That's sort of a broad, expansive goal, and it sounds a little ridiculous perhaps at first, but I think New York City has long served that purpose in our country and in our world as the global capital of the world. And in the history of our own country, New York has always opened its arms and brought people who are looking for a better way of life for themselves, for their families, who can dream big, who can act bold, and who can do things that count. So join me on that journey. And by the way, I'm looking down now, I see that I missed out on introducing Mike Weber, who's our ROTC student here, going back to Wake Forest University in just a few days now, but he's been a tremendous asset this summer, our veteran under construction, as well as Rob Kane, who's right here from Columbia. He's out there with Conchetta at the MOVA table. So come by and see us. Don't be strangers. We're getting ready to move to the main municipal building at 1 Center Street. We'll keep you all in the loop. But in the meantime, keep doing us proud. Thank you for what you're doing every single day, and thank you for being here in New York. Working together, we'll keep after it. Hua, thanks so much. God bless.
Thank you, Commissioner Sutton, Assistant Commissioner. Please continue to enjoy lunch. We'll reconvene shortly with panels dealing with wellness, resiliency, social media, and of course, the very important panel dealing with career planning and internships. For those veterans who are interested in taking a group shot, our professional photographer is anxiously awaiting to take a shot outside the video wall, and then we'll reconvene shortly for a very integrative exercise with key professors as well as career professionals. Thank you.